about that shit on the podcast plenty of times. Talked about it. Now you're seeing it. I've always hated my fucking job. Always. Most of you motherfuckers I work with, I fucking hated you. So the few people that I didn't. And you know who you are. If you're listening. Which you're probably not. So I said, fuck that. The things I do best are running my mouth, smoking weed. Why don't we mix those things? Put that shit in front of the fucking camera. You know, give you a reason to fucking put a goddamn pick through your hair. I mean, I gotta really consider my fucking space away from the mic. And I am sorry. I'm gonna think about that shit. A lot of this shit I'm gonna cut out. I might leave that in. What I'm saying right now. But a lot of this shit I'm gonna cut out. I've also said this before. We are not built to do 9 to 5s. It's just a system that was put in place and we follow to. Most of the stuff you learn in school, you don't fucking need. I've never used most of the stuff in math in life. I say it did apply in some form or another, but all of those things were put in place way before I got there, and I just pressed the buttons. So it might be good for the people it's good for, but I'm just saying. And when you start talking about college, the older you get, bro, the level of horse shit you have to learn just to get the stuff that you need to know, it's not fucking worth it. Go on YouTube, specifically say, I want to learn how to be, well, an engineer. I want to learn this specific, how to do this specific piece of equipment, this specific type of car. We'll give you all of those things you need to know. Guarantee you there's at least 50 people who put videos up of themselves doing it. Most of them are shit, but some of them are going to be good. All this stuff I've done, all this shit I've done, as far as the YouTube thing, I learned on a fucking computer YouTube videos. So, in the future, if this goes anywhere and I'm getting paid, if I do plan on getting paid for doing this bullshit, if it's going anywhere, understand, I learned all this on a fucking computer. Would you believe the biggest thing I was worried about was being in front of the camera? But honestly, knowing that I don't have to show anybody any bullshit really does help. You would not believe it took me like 7 takes just to get to this point. I was like, scratch that. Nope, we're not doing that. All right, erase that. Now here we are. And trust and believe, I'm going to cut this up too. But, we'll probably leave a lot of that. I do love me some banter. Matter of fact, I might call this the Banter Section. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call this the Banter Section. And the Banter Section is going to be for anyone who just loves listening to somebody ramble for like 45 fucking minutes and seeing all of the stupid faces that they can make while they're doing it in front of their camera, smoking 78,000 cigarettes. I got my roommate out there thinking I'm losing my fucking mind. And I'm talking to myself. Like, oh boy, this nigga is going crazy. He's finally lost it. You know, there's a weird thing about knowing somebody for so long. You know, knowing tells and things like that. And it's weird. It's fucking creepy. It's almost like having a relationship in a way. You know, obviously completely ill. But it's like, when I talk to this motherfucker now, I notice things. Like, I notice him just, like, when I say something that he doesn't quite understand, he used to be like, oh, what was that? Now it's more like, what? Like, already he's expecting it to be weird. Because I know I'm weird. You know what I'm saying? Just little things like that. I don't know if that's like off-putting but it's just something that I noticed now. I was at Mike and Isaiah's, and if we do this video thing, you guys are going to see them at some point. When I was at their place, and Mike always says this thing like, they're like a microphone if you want to sing. You know, and in some ways, he's talking about my hair. In some ways, it's fucking hilarious, bro. Like a microphone if you want to sing. It's fucking funny, dog. But, you know, in some ways, I'm like, I started thinking about my body, like how skinny I've gotten. You know, like, is that all he sees in my fucking hair? Like, does he even fucking see me? He's looking at my fucking hair. Jesus Christ, bro. Get off it. You said it like 80 times. You know, and guarantee you, this is going to be a fucking thing. So I'm going to tell you right now, Mike, don't stop. Please continue to do it. Bro, I actually enjoy it. It just lets me know even more that I need to get over myself. So I generally have a chuckle at myself as I'm going, yeah. Back to a question we had in the first podcast. You all have anything that you've noticed is changing? And my God, since that first episode, how much has changed in a year? I've grown plants. You can see the things over there, but I've grown. They've grown and died. I've had whole situations that I could probably write about in the amount of time that it's been since I've had a legitimate job, and I've seen more than 5 people that I know at once. You know, other than like going by tavern just to get some weed. You know, as I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, why not just put the whole goddamn thing out, girl? I always wanted this to be kind of a candid type of a show. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely going to be some edits. I don't care. Just with the video, just the way it is. But very few, I think. Very few. I'm probably going to leave this in there. As people are sitting there with their own thoughts swirling as I'm thinking and pondering myself, staring off kind of oblong and sideways in space. If you all can't hear it, there is country music blaring in my fucking ears. Hopefully you don't hear it, and if you do, in the final cut, I'm sorry. I'm not that good. Like I said, I learned everything off of YouTube. Disclaimer. Sorry. If it doesn't work, I can always say, I just learned it off of fucking YouTube. What do you expect? I'm not a fucking professional. And if you were ever on the podcast, Rob, Sky, Olivia, Mike, and Isaiah, get ready. Because all this shit, they're going to be able to see us now. So every little thing that you do is just between you and everybody. And I'm surprised I haven't heard any of the comments about my mumbling habits, you know? Because I can hear what I'm saying. But man, I've listened back to some of the podcasts. I'm like, God, what the fuck did I say? Sometimes I have to listen back to it like 5 times, you know? And then after a while, sometimes at least 3 or 4 of those times, I just abandoned it. Fuck. It's just going down in history as a fucking mumble. Probably slow it down.